Hey, this is Grant with Grant's Rock Warehouse, and today we're starting a new series entitled Cheapie Bin Finds. Now, many of you out there I know love to go through the record bins, the CD bins. You just love it. You just can't wait to get out there to see what gems you can find. Well, there are plenty of gems out there. In the early 90s, that's when it was the golden era for the used record album. You could go out and literally l- see records for $1. They were practically giving them away because people were just dumping them in groves. And the funny thing is that those dollar records back then are now like $8, $9 records. Most of my albums that I have, and I have a crap ton, I got back then for practically nothing. Anymore, I really don't go out and look for records because records, they're too expensive. It's not that I'm cheap. I don't want to spend the money. The thing is, people are dumping CDs like crazy. Now, it's all boutique, it's all cool and chic to collect records now. But the thing is, a lot of these CDs, especially these CDs that were pressed in the 80s, really sound great, and the early 90s. That's a whole other video, which we could get into. But what I'm saying, if you're into music, I would look at CDs again. Give CDs another try. So anyway, what this series is about is a weekly series. I'm going to try to keep up weekly, depends what I can find. About what I can find in the cheapie bins. So what I'm going to present to you are some CDs. I haven't listened to all of them, but I've listened to some. And some of them I've heard years ago, and I might have had them and I sold them. I got rid of them. But let's just see what I found this week. Now, all these CDs that I bought were $2. You might be able to find them cheaper, but these are all $2. So the first one we're going to go with today is Jason Falkner presents Author Unknown. Now, if you don't know Jason Falkner, he played in the band Jellyfish, the Grays, has a solo career. In fact, I think he still plays with Roger Manning in Beck. That's where he plays. He plays with Beck. But anyway, this is like his first solo album. He plays all the instruments on it. I've never heard this, but I'll tell you, I know it's worth at least $2, probably way more. But that's the beauty of going through the bins because you never know what you're going to see. So up next is this is a different type of story, same story kind of. But this band, 10,000 Maniacs, I bought this earlier in the week. Now, I had this CD back in the day when it came out and really liked it. I sold it. Oh my God. I probably sold it. And this came out in 87. I probably haven't heard this record since 93, 92. But anyway, I was looking through the bins. Now, if anybody knows this record, it really is a great record. Peter Asher produced it. And it just so happens I've been looking for this for a while because there were two versions of this CD. There was a version that had Cat Stevens' Peace Train in it, and another version that they pulled it. I don't know. Natalie got something up her butt. I don't know why she pulled it. Who knows? But anyway, this version I got for $2 has Peace Train in it, which is totally cool because if you're going to get this record, you got to have Peace Train on it. But this was a full digital recording back in 87. And like I said, Peter Asher produced this. And I'll tell you, there is not one weak track on this record. It sounds wonderful. It doesn't sound dated at all because you would think it would have gated drums. If you watch some of the other videos we've had on my channel and on the Contrarians, I'm sure we've talked about it. Ryan's Vinyl Destination, we have talked about the whole gated drum thing. This album does not have gated drums. It sounds wonderful. Definitely a 5-star record. So anyway, I bought this earlier in the week and I thought, what the hell? But I've been playing this damn thing all week. It still stands up. And the funny thing is, I think 10,000 Maniacs at this point have been pretty much forgotten. It's kind of sad, but I mean, you can find these plenty in the cheapie bins. So if you see it, keep your eye open for the one that's got Peace Train on it. Don't get ripped off. You know, if you're paying $2 or $1, make sure you get Peace Train. So anyway, I got the 10,000 Maniacs, and then I know they had other 10,000 Maniacs CDs in the bin. So I went back yesterday or the day before, and I picked up the rest of them. They were all cheap. They were all $2. And so the next one I got was 10,000 Maniacs Blind Man Zoo. This one I do believe came out in 89. This has Eat for Two on it. I mean, it's another great record. Is it as good as In My Tribe? To be quite honest, kids, I don't remember because I haven't heard it in forever. But we're going to revisit it. You have to admit, it's at least worth $2. That's all I can say. And this one was produced by Peter Asher, too. So 10,000 Maniacs Blind Man Zoo. The other 10,000 Maniacs CD they had was Hope Chest. Now, this came out, I believe, in 1990. What this was, 10,000 Maniacs were selling records. You know, they were accessible to the pop crowd. They were accessible to the alternative crowd. Natalie Merchant had a great voice. The band was top notch. This thing was capitalized. What it is a compilation of like their first two independent releases before they got signed. That's what this is. And it's been remixed. Have I ever heard it? No, but I can guarantee it's worth $2 because the band's top notch. After that, they also had this 10,000 Maniacs in Our Time, which I believe came out in 92. Can't read that. It came out a couple years after Hope Chest. You know, they're trying to ride that wave. But this is also a strong record. This had the song These Are Days. It was produced by Paul Fox. So if anybody knows Paul Fox, he did some work with XTC. Hopefully we'll be doing some more XTC on this channel. Well, we haven't done any yet, but I plan on doing some. But anyway, Our Time in Eden, Natalie Merchant still with the band. What can I say? I had this back in the day, but I sold it. We're going to give it another try. $2. What I'm going to say. Then finally, I found the MTV Unplugged. This was the last thing that Natalie produced with the band before she quit and went solo. I'll probably be looking for some of her solo stuff because I have never even listened to any of that stuff. But since I'm on a 10,000 Maniacs kick, I'm sure this is great too. I don't think I ever saw the original MTV performance. I do think that there was probably more songs on it than what's on the CD, but this has got These Are Days, Eat for Two, Candy, Everybody Wants. If I remember right, I thought that was a great tune, but God, I haven't heard it forever. Hey, Jack Kerouac, What's the Matter Here? Like the Weather. And she does a version of Because the Night. If I remember that right, there might have been a video to that, and that might have been the single. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just some guy. But anyway, got that. One other thing I did get, and I don't know what possessed me to buy it, but I used to really like U2. Back when they came out with War and Steve Lillywhite produced that stuff, I think War was the best album because I still think U2 at that time really had a lot of energy. They were young, they were hungry. And you have to admit, the Edge's guitar sound, Larry Mullen, I mean, Bono, then they were a machine. And I love that. I loved War. But the thing is, I never really listened to the first two albums. So what did I end up getting? Boy, U2 Boy. And actually, this is an Australian pressing that's got the alternate cover. So, but this is great because this has I Will Follow. It's Steve Lillywhite. Oh, I love Steve Lillywhite. I love Steve Lillywhite when he worked with XTC, and I like his work with Marshall Crenshaw. U2 Boy. I've already listened to this because I got this like earlier in the weekend. This is really a great record. Is it up to the standards of War? I'd say not. But Kids, if you can find it cheap, get it, for crying out loud. Give U2 another try. I know they're kind of, they kind of wussed out. The other thing is I got was U2 October. And this is great because this is the original Made in Japan CD. And back then it had this like, you know, opening cardboard. I don't know what they called these back then, but I remember when this came out, I always thought, wow, that's weird. No CD jewel case. I just thought it was weird, but I don't know. You can't argue with the track listing. Gloria's down here. And actually, I was really surprised because I really like this record. We've got Steve Lillywhite back on board, and you can't mistake his sound, his production style. It's great. But this came out in 1981. But what can I say? It's U2, but it's early U2. It's not the wanker U2 much later. You know what I mean? All right. So after that, I was able to pick up the original U2 Joshua Tree. Now, I've heard When the Streets Have No Name. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. With or Without You, Bullet, The Blue Sky. All of side one on this thing is they've played this to death. I never did buy this back in the day. This came out in 87. By this time, it was okay, but it wasn't War. War just had that sound. But anyway, I thought for $2, didn't this win Grammys? Leave in the comment. I think this will win a Grammy, maybe several. But I figured, why not revisit it now? Maybe I'll like it. You know how things change. Your tastes always change. So I figure, what the heck, give it a shot. We're almost done. The next album I got, which you can find this quite a bit, is How to Dismantle Atomic Bomb. And this, I believe, came out in 2004. So this is later stuff. It does have the song Vertigo on here, which did get a lot of airplay when it came out originally. Got a lot of airplay. I haven't listened to this yet, and I don't know what the reviews were for this. I can't speak. Maybe someone in the comment, you could leave a comment. Let me know what you think of these records or any of these records. But again, is it worth $2? Probably. I would say it's probably worth $2. So I got it. So anyway, that's all I got. So this, this is a way to share what I think this is fun because if you're like me and you like going through the bins and you don't like to spend a lot of money, but you're always looking for gems. I love it. So anyway, so this is episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. What I have coming up on the channel, I've got an April wine discussion coming up. We're going to be recording that next week. We're going to be looking at April wines, Harder, Faster, and A Nature of the Beast. And that'll be a panel discussion. We're going to take these 2 records and dissect them and see what everybody thinks about. I'm going to be honest. These are 2 of my favorite April wine records. So just saying, 2 of my favorites. We already probably know where I stand on that. So that'll be coming up. Todd Evans and I will be doing a Let's Active discussion, band with Mitch Easter. Great band. Check them out if you ever find any of their material. And Pylon. Pylon was a band from Athens, Georgia. They were down in Athens, Georgia when REM were hanging out. B-52s, Guadalcanal Diary, all those bands that were hanging out. But Pylon put out a new box set. And here it is. That's got all their material. It's got a nice book. Wonderful. So Todd and I are going to be diving into this and checking this box set out. So you might want to see that. You might get turned on to something you've never heard of. There's going to be working on a more Matthew Suite with Todd too. So at the end of the month, we're going to be recording another in the Matthew Suite series where we're going to be looking at Girlfriend and Altered Beast. That's just some of what's coming up on the channel. So anyway, please like, subscribe, leave your comments, And I'll see you soon with more content. All right. Thanks. Bye.